a skeleton key disguised as serotonin. Structurally, DMT is almost laughably simple. It's a tryptamine, built around an indole ring, with two methyl groups attached to a terminal amine. If you could look at serotonin and DMT side by side, you'd barely see the difference. They're molecular siblings, so structurally similar that DMT slides directly into serotonin's receptor sites in the brain, like a key made for a lock it wasn't supposed to open. The primary targets, 5-HT2A receptors, the classical psychedelic gateway. Activation here floods cortical neurons with signaling that produces fractal geometry, ego dissolution, synesthesia, the sensation of time expanding infinitely or collapsing entirely. Sigma-1 receptors, mysterious proteins at the endoplasmic reticulum, involved in neuroprotection and cellular stress response. Rick Strassman suspects Sigma-1 activation is part of what makes the DMT experience feel not like a hallucination, but like a revelation, more real than real. Trace amine-associated receptors, TARs, modulating dopamine, serotonin, and glutamate in ways science is still mapping. The molecule also crashes headlong into the default mode network, DMN, the brain's internal narrator, the neural architecture that constructs your sense of self, that stitches your autobiography together, that keeps the ego coherent and continuous. When the DMN is interrupted, the ego doesn't just quiet down, it evaporates. What remains is pure, centerless awareness. The state mystics of every tradition have described as union with God, dissolution into the all, or the void. History, ancient vine, Cold War laboratory, counterculture legend. The human relationship with DMT stretches back thousands of years into the Amazon basin, where indigenous healers have used ayahuasca, a brew combining DMT containing Psychotria viridis leaves with the MAOI containing Banisteriopsis caapi vine, as a sacrament, a diagnostic tool, and a portal. The MAO inhibitor in the vine is the crucial co-pilot. It blocks the enzyme that would destroy oral DMT in the gut before it could ever reach the brain. Alone, swallowed DMT does nothing. Together, the brew opens a 4-6 hour door. Western science arrived late. Canadian chemist Richard Mansky first synthesized DMT in 1931. Nobody paid attention. Then in 1956, Hungarian chemist Stephen Szara denied access to LSD by Sandoz Laboratories, who suspected him of being a Soviet operative, synthesized his own supply and injected it. He documented the first recorded Western DMT experience. Brilliant geometric visions, a feeling of profound bodily weightlessness, the overwhelming sensation of being elsewhere. The 1960s brought the molecule into the counterculture. Timothy Leary called it the nuclear bomb of the psychedelic family. When Nixon's Controlled Substances Act classified it, Schedule 1, in 1971, research stopped for 2 decades. The modern era began with Rick Strassman, a psychiatrist at the University of New Mexico. After years of battling bureaucracy, Strassman received approval in the early 1990s.
After years of struggle, the trials are finally approved.
To administer intravenous DMT to human volunteers, the first government-sanctioned psychedelic research in 20 years. He administered 400 doses to 60 subjects and documented his findings in the 2001 book, The Spirit Molecule. What he found, and couldn't explain, was this. A majority of subjects reported, with remarkable consistency across demographics and backgrounds, contact with entities, not vague forms, beings, presences described as elves, insects, angels, aliens, fractal intelligences that seemed to expect the visitors, and sometimes communicated information that felt externally sourced. Strassman couldn't account for it then. He still can't.